How you doing? Good?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful. Let's moving right through. All right, so thank you very much for taking the time to be
Glad to
here.
be
You
here.
and have had some good conversations.
Yeah.
Known you for a bit.
Yeah.
On this side, and excited to see you in this role. So if you don't mind, since I know you, but I'm sure everybody does, can you please just give your background and
Sure.
talk about a little bit what you're doing now too?
Sure, so I'm a little bit behind Joe. My first system that I sold was in '85, so I've been
Still
around for a little while.
Kid.
I am just a youngster. But started in fire and security at Honeywell, and then went to a small independent integrator, and then became a part of the founding management of HID. Had a short stint in for about 4 years in Ingersoll Rand, which is of course now Allegion. So I learned a little bit about the door hardware business, and more recently was with Acre, and now on board with AMAG.
Wonderful. So since we just ended on AMAG, I guess talk a little bit about you're new there.
Yeah.
What opportunities you see with the company that, frankly, AMAG's been around for a bit.
Yeah, we've been around 50 years.
Yeah. So as you see it, with all the changes that are happening in the marketplace, why AMAG for you, and then why AMAG for the community?
So I have experience with AMAG from back in my HID days selling to them. So they were a customer that I knew very well then. And then I also was a customer of theirs. So I've sold their systems, I've competed against them, and now I'm involved with it. But I've always had a deep respect for the business and its capabilities. But I think it's what really drew me to the business overall was the portfolio of products. And it's not well known out there of the product portfolio that AMAG has. So at the center of it all is our access control solution. But we also have an identity management solution, visitor management solution. We partner with Salient for our video management, and then we also have a PSIM. So there's a whole, ecosystem of product that we have as our own, and it really hasn't been both leveraged, I would say, and as marketed in a way that the industry even is aware of it. So for me, it was really that attracted me, and building that out further so that there was more market awareness about this, because I really see this as the trends going forward in our industry, this interconnectivity, and being able to have a whole portfolio of systems together is really a strong thing for me to be able to offer. And as well, there's a great infrastructure in place to support all of that, which that's challenging in itself.
Yeah. So, but if you take a look at that, so it's been there, right? So why is now different then? What do you
Well, it's really interesting, Lee, because what I'm finding now, and I'm sure many of you are as well, that there's more interest in the customer now for identity management, visitor management, and really just automating all of their workflows. I haven't in my past seen much of that before. So our view really is ecosystem first, which is to make sure that we sit at the center of the ecosystem, but all of these other needs that are starting to come about, that I don't know if the end users are now recognizing that they need these things, or they're starting to understand that they need to automate them. But we're finding more and more conversations right now that are very interesting about how can we automate these workflows. For example, an individual needs to get access into a particular building. That building might have some particular training needs. Say it's a hazardous building that they have to understand how to operate in that area, and you got to find out whether or not that training exists. You're having to go and send an email to the HR team to find out if they've had that training. You have to go through all of these manual communication processes in order to issue that badge out. People are trying to find ways to make that very quick, and so through our identity management platform, you're in and able to have all that process very quickly with just the touch of a button.
All right. So as you look at the market, what is your view, outside of what you just saw, customers asking for different things, but what else? Maybe geographies or verticals, which of those are you seeing good interest in or pique your interest?
Well, I mean, for us and probably for everyone, there's a high interest from utilities. data centers are a big thing because they're growing, and obviously need a lot of security. We heard that from Josh when he was talking about what they face at Google. But I think that what we're seeing most is really seeing this interoperability that we keep talking about, where people want to have a fully integrated solution going through, as you've said, single pane of glass. And I have not in the past, while people have understood that they're getting interconnectivity, the struggle of having to go in and out of the different applications hasn't really been a problem, but now we're seeing more and more of it, people seeking really this integrated platform. So when I look at verticals, I'd say utilities, data centers, higher education, these are all types of areas that are seeking these types of applications, but also just this broader solution portfolio.
All right, and so if you had to summarize, like, what's next for AMAG?
Well, what's next for AMAG is we have a next generation of product. Clearly, we're moving to the cloud. We've been an on-prem solution. We need to be able to move to the cloud, but there's still many users that want to be on-prem as well, so we want to be able to offer both. So for us to create this open, community and open ecosystem where we sit at the beginning, at the center of it, we're going to have to be advancing our product portfolio into the cloud and providing ways in which we can be easy to integrate with. And so that's really the direction we're headed at this time.
Very nice. No, I've seen some good changes too, bringing in different people on the team, like Kyle and the rest of them. So seem to be loading up in those areas too, which I think also helps. So new blood, new ideas.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're doing solution selling now instead of system selling, and so that is more than just the product. You have to have a delivery system, because while we talk about the integrators are challenged to go through the workshops that are necessary to draw out the workflows that you need to be able to configure the system to meet. So you have to assist the channel in that discussion, but then also be able to deliver on it, because the complexity of commissioning those systems is tough as well. And so it's more than, so for me, it wasn't just looking at the product portfolio. It was leveraging what we already had, which I was mentioning to somebody last night, that we have 120 integrations, which that was surprising to me. But being able to support those integrations, keep them up, be able to then deliver on these complex solutions out in the field as you're delivering that, and be able to be in conjunction with your integration partner, because we're not going to be the ones with trucks and ladders and screwdrivers.
Yeah, no, not at all. But I only have to hear something a couple times to know that it's a trend, and education keeps popping up.
Yeah,
as a need.
No doubt. But you know what? That's been an ongoing channel problem, or problem for us as manufacturers. I remember in some of the days at HID, we ended up we made a technology decision. We could have gone further with the technology, but we decided not to, because we thought it would leapfrog the channel. And now we're further than we ever were with technology in comparison to what the channel's capabilities are. And so we do actively, as an industry, need to come up with ways to keep them apprised and on the cutting edge. And I think in today's market, you see a lot of these integrators, the challenge that they face is they get somebody fully trained, and then it's an attractive product for their competitor to take. Yeah. So it's a little bit challenging for them and us as manufacturers.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I look forward to watching and seeing what you all do, and it'll be fun, if anything. Right. So thank you very much for sharing.